Dear learners, today we will see the forces acting on a vehicle. The forces acting on a vehicle is the subject what we are going to see today. And to start with the forces, we start with the static load. Static load, the lumped mass is considered to be acting at a point that is called the center of gravity of the vehicle. This center of gravity is located at a distance of LF from the front axle and is located at a distance of LR from the rear axle. And the distance between the front axle and rear axle is called as wheelbase. And this front axle and rear axle provides reactions that supports the lumped mass acting on the center of gravity, which makes the vehicle balance. These are the loads. The vehicle is not moving, so it is called as a static condition. These are the loads acting on a static condition. And when the vehicle is making a movement, and if it is at a slow speed acceleration, it is subjected to a velocity of Vx and it is in the x direction. I mean in the longitudinal direction. And the center of gravity is located at a distance of h from the ground surface. And moreover, a D'Alembert's force is acting at the center of gravity. The center of gravity is located at LR from the front axle and LR from the rear axle. These are the forces. While it is making a slow speed acceleration, there is no drag force acting on the vehicle, and it is on a level road. When the vehicle is making a climb, it goes on a grade. Grade is the rise over run. If it is climbing a grade, then the loads will be different and at a high speed acceleration, the grade is the surface inclined to an angle theta from the level road. And this is the loads acting on a vehicle when a vehicle is making a climb. And at the center of gravity, W, the weight lumped mass is acting, and the lumped mass is always acting vertically downwards, and that is divided into two components. One is the tangential component, W sine theta. Another one is called the vertical component, normal component, W cos theta. And the center of gravity is located at a distance of D from the front axle and is located at the distance of C from the rear axle. Moreover, apart from the weight, the vehicle is making a movement. So there are forces which makes the vehicle to move, and that is called as tractive effort. And this F is the tractive effort acting in the front axle, and this Fxr is the tractive effort acting in the rear axle. And it is subjected to two reaction forces, one is Wf and one is Wr. Apart from these forces, there are resisting forces that acts on the vehicle. One is the rolling resistance acting on the front axle Rxf. Another one is the rolling resistance acting on the rear axle Rxr. And it is subjected to an aerodynamic force which acts at a height of Ha from the ground plane. Apart from this the aerodynamic drag, there is one force called as D'Alembert's force, which acts at the center of gravity. And if the vehicle is hitched by a trailer, there are two components acting due to the hitch of the trailer. One is the horizontal component RHX, another one is the vertical component RHZ. And this RHZ component, vertical component, is located at distance of DH from the rear axle, and the horizontal component is located at a height of HH from the ground. So these are the forces that makes the movement and that makes resist the movement of the vehicle. So I hope everyone has understand what are all the forces acting on the vehicle when the vehicle is making a movement on a grade. So these are the forces acting on a vehicle when it is in a static condition and when it is in a dynamic conditions. Thanks for watching the video.